Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here, back down here on the range today. I've got the 22 Magnum chambered Ruger LCRx 3-inch barrel back out today. I've also got the Ruger LCRx 3-inch barrel 22 LR out again today. I've posted several videos with these revolvers and they sparked quite a bit of interest on my channel, probably more than anything I've posted in the last year or so actually. Tons of comments, questions, getting a lot of emails, which is a good thing. You know, if you ever need to get a hold of me and you need me for sure to see your question, email me. You can go to my home page, my main channel page, and go to the About section, and you can find my email address there. I can't get to every comment. I try my best to get to all of them, but sometimes I'm just not notified. Sometimes I just miss it. Get a lot of comments when you look. You know, I've got nearly 500 videos posted, and I get a lot of comments each day, and I can't as hard as I try, I can't get to every single one of them. So if it's something that you definitely need an answer on, just shoot me an email. But I got a lot of questions about, and I assume this is from new shooters, and I'm not trying to talk down to anybody. I was a new shooter once too. We all were. But getting a lot of questions about why did I need both of these revolvers. Not really why did I need them, but why would I want both of these revolvers when I could just shoot 22 LR in the 22 Magnum. So that tells me that it's from a new shooter, because they're not understanding why that doesn't work. I think a lot of it comes from, you can buy these, there's a lot of these little single action revolvers on the market where you can swap the cylinder out. You can get a 22 Magnum and you can swap the cylinder out to 22 LR and shoot it that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. The bullet diameters are within a thousandth of an inch of each other. They're close enough that you're probably not going to have any problems. Accuracy might suffer a little bit. You might, if you get some 22 LR lead bullets on the small end, you might get a little leading. But usually you're not going to have problems. It's close enough that it doesn't matter. But when you're talking about shooting 22 LR in the same chamber as the 22 Magnum, then you're going to run into problems. And that's how I'm reading your question. I'm not reading it as if you're swapping a cylinder out, which, by the way, these little double action revolvers from Ruger, the 22 Magnum is a 6-shot and the 22 LR is an 8-shot. So I couldn't just swap the cylinders out with one another. The timing would be all off. Ruger would have to make a 6-shot 22 LR cylinder that had 22 LR chambers cut in it to put it into the 22 Magnum revolver. I can't just swap these back and forth. So the way I take the question is, can you shoot 22 LR in a 22 Magnum chambered revolver? And the short answer is no. You shouldn't do that. And you have to look at the cartridges themselves to understand why. Again, the bullets themselves are close enough in diameter that that's not the problem. That's why you can get those swappable cylinders on those single action revolvers and not have any issues. But the cases are so different. The 22 Magnum case is much larger in diameter than the 22 LR. If you look at that, the 22 LR bullet is sitting on top of the case. It's what they call a heeled bullet. It actually has a heel that drops down into the case and is crimped in that way. While the 22 Magnum is a contemporary bullet design that the bullet sits down into the case. So the case needs to be bigger in diameter than the 22 LR. Also, your rim diameters. The rim diameter is bigger on the 22 Magnum than it is on the 22 LR. So when you shoot a 22 LR in a chamber designed for this bad boy, there's just so much room, so much expansion. You can get split cases, case failures. Most of the time you're just going to get a swelled case, and you're not going to have any, like, it's not going to blow the gun up on you or anything, but you'll get bullet shavings, because look how much room that bullet has to wobble back and forth in this big chamber before it even gets to the throat. But you'll get poor accuracy, you'll get bullet shavings, terrible velocity loss, Look at all the expansion that little bit of powder in this case would have to do just to fill this chamber up. So you're losing a lot of your energy just by shooting out of this big chamber with this little round. If we look at that here, this is our 22 long rifle chambers. This is the cylinder. The chambers are what is cut into the cylinder. We can drop a 22 LR right in. Goes home perfectly. But if you try to drop a 22 Magnum into a 22 LR chamber, you'll quickly see what I'm trying to say here. Hopefully, just that visual right there will explain it to you better than me trying to explain things. I have a hard time. I'm not a natural teacher, so I have a hard time explaining things sometimes. But right there's your difference. Now, both of these will drop, of course, into the 22 Magnum chamber. Here's the 22 Magnum chamber. Here's the 22 long rifle. And here's the 22 Magnum. So I said no, that you can't do that. But what I mean is no, you shouldn't. You can do it. I see people do it all the time. I've done it before myself. So it can be done, and I'm going to demonstrate that here today. You shouldn't, it's not something you should do at home. There's no need for you to do it at home. There's no advantages to it. It doesn't, I'm going to shoot it over the chronograph and show you the velocity loss that you get by doing that. So let me get the chronograph set up and I'll get right back at you. Okay, so from my previous videos with the 22 LR from the 22 LR chambered Ruger LCRx, we know I was getting about 1,090 feet per second on average from these CCI mini mags. So I've got 6 of them loaded up here into the 22 Magnum chambers of the Ruger LCRx that's chambered in 22 Magnum, and I'm going to shoot these over the chronograph and see what we're getting. I've got gloves on because sometimes you can get bullet shavings, or you can have a case failure and get brass shavings to come out into your hands. This is not the type of round that's going to blow a gun up in your hands, but it's still, you know, precautions need to be taken. And I realize the grinding shield is probably a bit much, but that's just me emphasizing that you probably shouldn't do this at home. .682, and there's a misfire. 786. And let's see if that one will go off this time. All right, so that's all 6 of them. You can see the velocities were just terribly low and very all over the place. So you get this shield off. Let's see if I can get these cases out if they're not stuck. We'll have a look at them. So you can see you lose velocity, you lose energy, you lose accuracy, and you lose reliability. There's no good reason to really do this. And these cases are going to stick. The ejector done jumped them. So I'm going to push these out and then we'll take a look at them. All right, so I got those cases out. They weren't stuck too bad. I just mortared them out one at a time. I dropped one on the way over here, but none of the cases completely failed. But look at how wonky they look where they fire formed to that 22 Magnum chamber. I have seen them fail. I've seen people do this and they split. These did not that time, which is a good thing. But I just wanted to demo that. Hopefully you guys that were asking about that, now you understand why I didn't just buy the 22 Magnum and start shooting 22 LR through it. It's just not. There's nothing to be gained from that. It's just a bunch of problems. That's all it is. But that's all I got, and I'll talk with y'all again soon.